What's up, you guys? Back with another video. I'm actually in Miami right now, so unfortunately I'm not in Vegas this year for the Olympia. But that being said, we are giving our 2022 Olympia predictions for the bodybuilding division. If you haven't seen already, I did my men's physique predictions and my classic physique predictions already on my channel, but now it's time to do open bodybuilding. The big day is actually tomorrow, so I purposely am posting this literally just the night before the action begins. But I think, like I already said, in the men's physique division and the classic division, the open bodybuilding division is also going to be one of the craziest competitions we've ever seen, with the lineup that is coming to the show being incredible, like never before. And I definitely have some opinions I want to share with you guys, but most of all, I want to know what you guys think, so make sure to drop down below in the comment section whether you agree, disagree with me, whatever. Make sure to let me know and put down your top 5. But I'm going to let you know my top 5, and I think it might be a little bit different than what most people think. So here we go. First of all, again, looking at this lineup, guys, I mean, we got Nick Walker. I'm only going to talk about like the big names here. There's some serious athletes here for sure, but I'm going to talk about the big names, the headliners. So we got Nick Walker. Everyone, you know, you're either on one side of the fence or the other with him. You either think he's going to become Mr. Olympia this year, or he's trash and definitely not going to be anywhere near the top 10. It's kind of funny how polarizing Nick Walker can be, but that's just the type of guy he is and the type of physique he has. And I think he's great for the sport regardless of what you think of him. But I definitely have him somewhere in that top 5, so I'll let you know in a little bit. We also have Big Ramy, reigning champ, coming back to do it again. So that will be interesting to see if he can pull it off. If you remember, you know, Big Ramy back in the day, I don't want to say like too long ago, but he never quite had a first place physique, and now he does, and he's been winning. So it's crazy to see how he has come so far, and if he's going to keep bringing his best, or maybe he'll struggle like he has in the past and kind of falter a little bit. We're gonna see tomorrow. Brandon Curry, another guy that has an Olympia title under his belt. Brandon Curry has that physique that, you know, it's not like an X Factor physique. It doesn't pop out necessarily, but it just looks perfect in every way. So when you look at that physique, you're like, how can he improve? How can he be better? It's kind of like a Phil Heath physique in a sense. He definitely deserved the title when he had it, and we'll see if he can maybe get it back. Hadi Choopan is like the fan favorite, and he has also always been kind of in that top 3, top 5. Great physique. Personally, I don't know if he's going to win this year, but we'll see where I put him in my top 5. We got Hunter Labrada, a guy that is young, similar to Nick Walker. Him and Nick Walker definitely have kind of a rivalry going on based on last year, where Hunter was able to secure that 4th place. Nick Walker went away with 5th place. Some people say it should have been flipped. Personally speaking, and I don't know why this is so controversial, but I do think Hunter deserved that win over Nick Walker. You know, Nick does have a physique that pops, and your attention kind of goes straight to him. But when you compare the two side by side, last year at least, we'll see about this year, but Hunter Labrada just had a better, well-rounded physique. And something that I want to point out is, like, when you are doing the comparison rounds, which is so crucial to the sport, that's when you start to identify the differences between Hunter and Nick's physique, and you're able to identify that Hunter was maybe just a little bit better, well-rounded. And the cool thing about Hunter Labrada as well is you could see him in that comparison round where they're battling it out. He actually got better as the minutes went on. There was a moment where he was sweating like crazy, but his physique came alive. He got bigger and grainier and sharper on that stage. And I think at that point, the judges are like, hey, this is our guy right here. And they placed Hunter ahead of Nick. So no doubt that Nick wants another shot at that competition right there. And we'll see how Hunter handles that. We'll see who gets the best of who this year. Going down the list some more, we got William Bonac. We got Blessing. Man, he's got a big mouth, but he's good for the sport. We got Ian Valliere, another guy that's consistently in that top 10. We got Derek Lunsford, who I do want to talk about for a second. Derek Lunsford being the 212 Mr. Olympia last year and having an insane look to him. I think Derek Lunsford probably has one of the greatest shapes we've ever seen in the sport of bodybuilding. We will see how that stacks up in the open division now that he doesn't have a 212 weight cap. holding him back. We'll see if it is good for him. We'll see if it maybe takes away from his look. But he was actually specially invited, and I think part of the reason he was invited was because they had a guest posing event where him and a few other bigger dudes that I've already listed their names were at, and he looked better than them. And being a 212 guy, I mean, you would think he has kind of a size disadvantage, but he held up very well to these other guys. So Derek, I'm very interested in, because I think he might do amazing. The thing with Derek though is, can he fill out his frame more? I mean, he's already very filled out at 212, but you know, it's hard when you're 212 going against guys that are 260, 280. You know, it's just hard. We've seen Sean Clarita beat bigger guys at like 180 pounds in the open bodybuilding division, but I don't think that happens very often. We'll see if Derek, I mean, think about it, even if he somehow put 30 pounds onto his stage weight in a year, which would be insane. And honestly, I don't know what he's weighing at right now, but even 30 pounds, that would still put him at about 240 going against 260, 280 guys. So we're gonna see with Derek, but I'm gonna talk more about Derek here in a little bit. We got Michael Crizzo. You know, he's coming from not the IFBB league, but this is his first Olympian IFBB league, and this is going to be interesting because, you know, there's a lot of talk around him whether he can keep up with the bigger IFBB pro guys, but honestly, I don't know if he's quite there yet. Either way, we're going to see for sure tomorrow. And then that's really all I was going to talk about. I mean, there is Andrea Muzzi. I don't think he's quite there on the size yet. You know, similar to Blessing, they have a lot of fame behind them, a lot of hype, but I think they just need a little bit more time. Now let's get down to the nitty gritty. Who's gonna be that top 5? So first of all, I think Nick Walker and I think Hunter Labrada are both going to be in that top 5 again. If I'm being honest with myself, I'm not sure they're gonna break into the top 3, but I think they both have a chance. I do think Hunter is still better than Nick. We saw it last year. You know, they're both making similar improvements. Nick Walker has bounced around coaches now. He came full circle and went back with Matt Jansen, his previous coach. We're gonna see if that affected anything at all in his off season. But altogether, I do think that Hunter Labrada just has a really special look to him and is very well-rounded. So if they break into that top 3, I think it's Hunter who's gonna do it. I think Nick has a chance though to get 4th. If not 4th, he'll still be 5th. Now, talking about more like the 3rd place, if it's not Hunter, I think it's gonna be Hadi again. Hadi Choopan, I don't think he has a physique that's gonna win Mr. Olympia. I personally don't even like his physique that much. Call me a hater, but he just has a blocky look to him that I don't think is very aesthetic. Even Nick Walker has an X Factor physique that pops a little bit more than Hadi. Both of them aren't necessarily like that picture perfect aesthetic look to them, but I almost like Nick's physique more than Hadi's. So that being said, Hadi always comes in with insane conditioning and he deserves that spot to be in 3rd place. I just don't see him going any higher than that. Okay, now my second, let's talk about 2nd place, who I see coming in 2nd. This one I think is gonna be between Brandon Curry, and I'm just gonna throw this out there, guys. I think Derek Lunsford. I think Derek Lunsford has the chance to shock the world. And I already explained kind of why. I think his shape is something that we have not ever seen before. I think, you know, when we think about just the 212 division, Sean Clarita won his title, and then the following year, Derek kind of crushed him. Like, I feel bad for saying that because I love Sean Clarita, but Derek crushed him. It wasn't close. I mean, just Derek Lunsford's shape won the 212 so easily. And now we're moving up to that open where I think Derek's shape is considerably better than everyone in the open division. I'm not sure how his size will hold up. That's the only thing. Does his arms have what it takes to be with the bigger guys, the 260, 280, 290 pound guys? We don't know yet. But if it's anyone that could break that top 5, even go top 2, I think it's Derek Lunsford. And if not this year, maybe next year, year after that, I see him as someone that could win in Olympia someday. Okay, now who do I have winning then? Unfortunately for Brandon Curry, although his physique is perfect, he's just not ever going to compare to the size of Big Ramy. Now Big Ramy, again, he's not the most aesthetic looking guy, but you gotta remember this is bodybuilding. This is open bodybuilding. It's not classic, it's not, you know, men's physique or whatever. Like, this is open bodybuilding. And when you have a guy as big as Big Ramy, potentially the biggest bodybuilder ever, stepping on a stage and in a condition that is, you know, equivalent with everyone else, he's gonna win the show. And if he doesn't win the show, something's up, because how doesn't the biggest, most shredded guy win, you know? And in the past, he hasn't been the most shredded guy, and he wasn't winning. But now he has been up there. His conditioning's on par with everyone else. At that point, the biggest, most muscular guy has to win. And yeah, you could debate, you know, symmetry, blah, 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 all that. And yeah, but he has that too. You know, he doesn't have bad symmetry. He doesn't have bad balance. He's literally the biggest guy up there. It is bodybuilding. He deserves the win. And that's why I have Big Ramy winning the show again. The only chance is if he comes off. There's always that possibility, but he has been bringing it the last 2 to 3 years, and I think he's gonna continue to. So that is my prediction. Big Ramy takes it again, waiting to be dethroned by someone who can get big enough to be a competition to him. And that second place, we'll see. I think it's gonna be Brandon Curry or Derek Lunsford. Third place, maybe Hottie, maybe Hunter. And then fourth place, fifth place will be again either Hottie or Nick Walker. That's the top 5 right there. Some honorable mentions, you know, I do think Ian Valliere has improved this year. He does have a look to him. I don't think he's ever going to be in that top 3 or maybe even top 5. We'll see if he can stay close to that top 5 with all these new guys coming in. I don't think Blessing is quite there yet. I don't think Crizzo is going to be quite there yet. As for William Bonac, I see him more of like a 6th or 7th place. He's been struggling recently, just kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but he's just not quite there. And yeah, everyone else, man, we'll see how these guys stack up in the years to come, but that is my top 5, 6, 7-ish. And again, I want to hear about what you guys have to say, so drop a comment down below. But guys, if you like this video, give it a like. If you're excited for the Olympia, give this video a like, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.